gonna have to put it like this, I think.
No, it's definitely not going to be in. You need
It's
some
not?
Yeah.
We can get this.
I have gaffer tape over there if you need some.
We got more. We've got
Cover it with the tape.
The tape doesn't stick to this
oh,
canvas.
You got a stapler.
You got a stapler?
I don't, but I mean,
oh, it was there.
well, look, here's an important question because I'm a grammar nerd, right? I thought you were raging Al with an apostrophe on the end and no extra G at the end, and that says raging Al. So
You made an assumption.
are you? So it's
always been Raging Al.
It's always been raging, and everybody
Yeah.
else has it listed as
Mark,
raging.
for the longest time, Mark LaMonica at Newsday kept putting rage in with the N and the apostrophe. I don't know. I kept correcting him, and eventually now he's
So we
he's
need
on the
everybody
team.
needs to make that change.
So now
Yeah.
it's on record.
Get it out there. This is great.
Yeah.
I-
You know what? I want to spit out my gum.
I don't like how it looks in the gun.
I use the gum to hang my poster.
Thank you.
Well, we have the raging thing under control.
All right.
How much of a difference will that make in the fight on Saturday night?
I don't
That
think.
extra G.
Yeah, no, I think. I don't think anything's. The training's in. Hard work's done. I'm in a great place right now. I'm looking forward to going out there and performing.
You mentioned yesterday at the open workouts that 223 in Brooklyn, one of the craziest fight weeks, probably the craziest you've ever been in with what happened, you stepping up on short notice. Going into this week, do you just have fingers crossed, praying to God that nothing weird happens?
No more than any other week, you know. And who knows if something crazy happens, it could work out for you again. It's just you got to go with however, you know, whatever happens. I'll just roll with it. It's kind of I'm pretty good at doing that. So, yeah, no, I think it's been good so far.
You mentioned that yesterday again that, you know, Kevin Lee, we talked about how he wants to send you back to the prelims and you wouldn't wish that on him. Why is it fair to say that he dislikes you more than you dislike him?
I mean, I don't really like him too much. When I beat him the first time, I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to send this kid back to the regional circuit. Obviously, I beat him, and I want somebody if I beat somebody, I want them to do great. I want them to become, you know, as good as they can be. You know, if they become champ, I beat the champ. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how you got to look at it. I don't understand if he sends me back to the prelims and I'm in the prelims and I'm like not a good fighter, then okay, Kevin Lee, you beat a nobody. Why would you want to beat a nobody? You know, so I'm going to beat Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee's going to keep doing good. He's going to be hopefully the number 2 contender, but you know, this is the second time I beat him. I don't see that being a third.
He said that your guys' personalities just don't mesh. I mean, does that kind of stuff matter to you ever?
No, not really. I think he's just saying that. He's just talking, but I think I'm a little more authentic and say it how it is, you know.
I mean, I guess his quote was, "The world doesn't need more ally Iaquintas." But what do you take that to mean? You just said you're an authentic guy. I think most people would probably agree with that. But
Yeah, I think if there were more fighters like me, this sport would be in a lot better place. But
in what ways?
in a lot of ways, I think that a lot of fighters, they just don't have they take what they get. They don't fight as hard outside of the cage as they do inside. Put it that way.
Are you still working with Project Spearhead?
I don't know what the deal with that is. I haven't heard any new updates. I have been in contact with Leslie Smith a little bit, but I don't know where their head's at right now.
Said it would take a miracle for that to succeed.
Yeah, I kind of would agree with him at this point.
Cajun told me that because Leslie and himself, they're no longer in the UFC, the only board member left in the UFC is you, that he kind of said it's on you to help make Project Spearhead successful and happen.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I don't know if there is. I don't know if I'm the only board member. I don't know if there is a board anymore. So, I mean, I've been really just focused on this fight and really looking forward to get out there, fight Kevin Lee, and then afterwards we'll see what happens, you know, how everything plays out with that. I'm not really sure where that's at. My head's been totally in a different realm.
When was the
I
last
got
time-
houses to sell. I got fight. People are coming trying to kick my ass. Kevin Lee's trying to send me to the prelims. I got a lot of things to think about, you know, and there's a order of priorities right now.
When was the last time you actually spoke to Leslie and Cajun?
I spoke to, had a little text conversation with Leslie not too long ago, and I kind of told her the same thing. I said that I'm really just, you know, focused on this fight, and that was that.
We spoke right after you joined the Project Spearhead board, I believe in February and March, and you seemed really excited. You were ready to make change happen. Would disappointment be the right word to describe, I guess, your feelings toward Project Spearhead and you joining their board?
I mean, I guess when you don't complete a goal, it's always somewhat of a disappointment. But I think there's still a lot of work to be done in that area, and I think it just has to be gone about the right way, and everyone can be happy, and it'll all play out the right way.
And I think you guys needed the 150 cards from fighters by February. From what you know, it doesn't sound like you talked to them all that much, but from what you know, are you guys...
I don't know the number, the count. Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
But you plan to stay part of Project Spearhead?
No, absolutely. I mean, they had their head was in the right place in a lot of ways, and I definitely want to follow through with a lot of the things that they brought to the table.
How often did you go back and watch the Khabib fight afterwards, or did you at all?
It's a long fight. It's a half an hour to sit and watch yourself get your ass kicked. But I took a lot out of it. I watched it a good. I probably watched it, I'd say 5 to 10 times since then. You know, there's a lot of things. I didn't look like myself out there. I know Khabib obviously makes everyone look like they don't think they should look, but I think with a little more time to prepare, who knows how the fight goes, but I know I can do more of what I know I'm capable of.
So many people after that seem to think like, geez, on paper, like he should have just run right through you, right? But yet there you were, you know, still in that thing, you know, in the 24th and 25th minute, and that exposed some things about him. Did you take those kinds of positive moral victories out of that fight after it was all said and done?
A lot of people thought that I exposed stuff of him. I thought, you know, very few people really thought that I kind of showed what I'm made of. You know, I think that's more of the case is that I showed, really, you know, I've had five wins in a row, 4 knockouts. Fought Diego Sanchez after a 2-year layoff and knocked, you know, him out quick. So you haven't really seen much of me. Going there 5 rounds on a three-round camp, training for a totally different kind of opponent. I think it says a lot more about me than about Khabib. So that's kind of really what I'm looking to show in this fight is that, you know, did I expose Khabib or did I make myself look good by what people think is exposing him? I think that's what it's going to show in this fight.
So how much better will you think that you will be able to make yourself look with a big win over somebody like Kevin than in a, let's call it a surprising loss to Khabib then? Is this more important than even than being in that caliber of a fight?
Well, I mean, beating Khabib at that point would have been
Sure.
just insane, life-changing. Fuck, you know, I'd be But this is, you know, this is time to prepare. This is an opponent that I'm ready for. That whole week was just crazy. I think there was so many variables in that week that you couldn't really. I just wish I was. I just wish I would have done things. I don't know. Now, looking back, hindsight's 2020. I wish I would have done a few things differently. But after this fight, I think no matter how the fight goes, there's nothing I can say. I put all my hard works in. There's no variables. There's no questions. I've trained my ass off for this fight. So the result is the result, and that's it. There's no, you know, you're not going to hear me say anything after the fight. This is me. You know, the best you're going to see me.
What's it like balancing fighting and selling houses?
It's, I think it keeps me balanced. I train in the morning. I do some real estate stuff in the afternoon. Obviously, as the fight gets closer, I start weaning off the real estate and focusing more on the fight. But it's non-strenuous on my body. I'm on the phone. I'm meeting new people. I'm talking. Yeah, but it's just like fighting. It's competitive. There's, how many mixed martial artists in the world there are, and to be a top mixed martial artist, you have to have a certain ethic of work. And how many real estate agents are there all over the place? Everyone's mom or whoever is a real estate agent. So to stand out above the rest. Who your mom is? Yes. See, everyone knows a real estate agent. Everyone knows somebody who does this UFC stuff. To really be in there and make good money and have something that you can live off of. You gotta have something special. You gotta stand out above everybody else. So it's very similar in a lot of ways. Non-taxing on my body, and when I have a little downtime, I pick that up and I ease off this, and it keeps me balanced. It's good. It's fun.
Do a lot of your clients know who you are before they actually hire you as their agent?
I have had a few. I've sold a few houses of people that just saw me as the UFC guy that sells houses too, and they were excited to work with. Same thing. If they see that I can be the dedication that I have in this sport, the work ethic that I have. If I put that into selling their house, there's no way. There's no one that's going to beat me. There's no real estate agent out there that's going to, work as hard as I work. I just know how to work, and that's really, they put their trust in me, and so far I mean, you'd have to ask them. I got a bunch of good reviews on Zillow.
It seemed like for a while on your list of priorities, fighting was closer to the bottom. Is it fair to say now it's closer back to the top?
It definitely, yeah. It's that last fight put me that motivated me again to where I think everything kind of it all just I work hard and I deserve I don't know, I feel like I'm not a big religious, I don't know, but I worked for that. I deserved that shot. The shit that I've been through, and I'm going to be like a crybaby or whatever, but I came through a lot to even just get back in the cage and fight, and I think that was definitely I earned that position, and now I'm starting to. Me and the UFC good. Everything's working out. It's all coming around, and it's all because I just worked my ass off.
I was going to ask you. You've had an up and down relationship with the UFC. Do you think stepping up on short notice, 1 day's notice against, now the lightweight champion, could be one of the best fighters out there? Being the company guy, so to speak, did that help your relationship and improve it?
No, absolutely. I think that they respected I would step in like that, and not just step in. Really fight to win, So they saw. I think they knew what I was made of, but that really just sent it home. And I think it's all good.
Khabib's fight with Conor was kind of looked at as it's finally going to clear up the top of the division. We're going to have an undisputed champ. Now they have to go through their hearing process. It's going to hold up the division even longer. Where do you think the division is right now at the top?
It's the same thing. It's all mixed up now. It's who knows. It's all going to play out within the next couple months, and I think really just got to keep winning, being impressive, and do it. Staying active, being ready to go at any notice.
What do you think they haven't booked Khabib Tony yet?
Why haven't they?
Yeah.
I don't know if they. I don't think they can until that. He might be. Who knows how long he's going to be suspended for that? I hope he gets I hope he just gets kind of slap on the wrist, but I don't see it being too much of a problem. But then he goes on on holiday for his religious reasons. So I don't know where he's at with his when he's going to fight again. Just got to keep winning, staying active, staying ready.
What do you think of when you hear Dana say he wants Conor to fight Dustin and Khabib and Tony to fight, and then the winners of that fight? Conor's obviously already lost to Khabib, but he's beating Dustin. Kind of puts everyone outside of those top four on hold even longer.
Yeah, I think that's what it looks like now. Things can change very quickly.
Just got Max might come up too.
Max might come up. There's the suspensions. The title. Ferguson might have to. He might want to take another fight and not wait. Who knows? It might be a year before they make that fight. So he might want to fight somebody else. Max jumps in the mix. Conor's he's got all the money in the world, and then Dustin's, kind coming back from an injury. So there's a million different ways this whole thing can play out. It's going to be interesting for sure. It's going to be interesting, and I'm looking forward to getting my name in that conversation.
Well, say you beat Kevin on Saturday, you're right in line for a title shot. There's a lot of guys at the very top, so we don't know exactly how that works out, as you just said, but does having the Khabib fight this past April and being in a title fight, does that help you, say you have a second one, that title fight?
Oh, absolutely. If I didn't fight Khabib, who knows if I'm getting this main event slot. If I didn't fight him the way I fought him, as strong as I fought him, I probably wouldn't have. So it's just keep working hard, keep fighting well, going out there having fun. It might have looked like I wasn't having fun out there against Khabib, but I kind of was. It was as sick as that sounds.
It was fun.
We were just talking. It's just mutual respect out there. He threw a jab at me. I wasn't really moving my head too well. He was like, "Oh, 1, 2, 3." I was like, "Oh, 4. Hit me with 4." And then he did it. I was waiting for that 4, and I was going to try to come right over the top. So we were having it was like a little chess match. We're talking back and forth. He hit me with a good shot in my eye, and I couldn't really see. He blinded me for a second. I was trying to get my sight back, and that's when I kind of went against the cage. He threw a flying knee and took me down. And then he started talking to Sarah, and we were all having a conversation. I would have loved to, whatever. It was respect, but it was like a fun. It was like a sparring session, but at the highest level with the highest amount of risk and reward.
So what's that sound like when Sarah is yelling at a Russian fighter in the middle of a fight?
No, it wasn't even like he was yelling at him. He was like, "All right, Khabib, yeah, you're doing good." And then he was like, "No, I was talking to Al." And Khabib was like, "No, he's good, he's good." He's like, "No, I was talking to him, not you." And it was going back and forth. It was fun. It was funny. And here I am, like exhausted. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, get this guy off me. But I would have loved to have won that fight. The whole thing was just like the craziest weekend. I don't know if a 4-day span of my life will ever top that. That whole thing was just nuts.
You're glad you stepped up though? Like you didn't have to.
No, absolutely. I'm 100%. I would. Yeah. No. That's it. I would do it again in a second. Do a couple of things different. Move my head a little bit. Maybe throw in a takedown or two of my own. Who knows?
Thanks, Al.
Thank you.